Good Friday morning to you. How many cups of coffee have you had so far today? This is my first. Anybody had 3 yet, or 4, or 5? Coffee in the morning time. Thank you for joining me today on this Friday. It is Friday. Yes, it is. And I had a friend, and many of you watching today also had a friend named Freddie Fikes. Freddie Fikes was a preacher. He was a friend, and he was also a car dealer. He sold cars. He bought and sold cars. I bought a high number of cars from Freddie Fikes. He would find me what I needed, and he would, you notice I said he'd find me what I needed, and he would sell me the car. I went to him many times and I told him, Freddie, this is the car I'm looking for, or the truck I'm looking for, the SUV I'm looking for. This is my dream car. And he would tell me, and told me more than once, what you need, Bob Fruen, is you need a bread and butter car to get you from point A to point B without breaking down. Something that you can afford to maintain. You need a bread and butter car, Bob Fruen. And so he would find me a bread and butter car. And so I would buy the bread and butter car from him. And you know what? He'd always got me from point A to point B. He always knew what I needed. I thought I knew what I wanted, but he always knew what I really needed. And you know what? Jesus is the same way. There are things that I want, but Jesus knows what I need. Many times I've prayed prayers, and I'm sure you have too. Lord, I want this. And Lord, would you supply that? And all along, the Lord Jesus knew what was best for me, and he knew what was best for you. And so he supplied my need, but he didn't always give me my wants. And true, the longer you live for him, the more faithful you are to him. In time, he also supplies you some of your wants. But for sure, he supplies you with your needs. Whatever your needs are, he supplies your needs. And that's a wonderful thing about serving the Lord. I was traveling on Interstate I-49 yesterday, and I passed a vehicle that was in the median. It had a wreck. It was crashed. Of course, there was cops there and fire department, and traffic was slowed down. And I got to looking at that vehicle thinking, at one time, this vehicle that somebody just wrecked, at one time it was somebody's dream vehicle, or it was simply their bread and butter vehicle. But somebody bought this with the intention of making this, buying it for the fact that it was their dream vehicle, or the fact they needed a bread and butter vehicle. And that one wreck, everything changed. Also, I noticed as I was going down the interstate as well, on the right-hand side, just north of Alexandria, 20, 30 acres of stacked up cars, wrecked cars in that salvage yard. And I got to thinking again, more than likely there are some dream cars and dream trucks out there. Somebody, at one particular time, they bought a particular car that was their dream vehicle. And today it sits in a salvage yard. You may have some dreams. Maybe there's some calling upon your life. God has called you to do a certain thing. Maybe you have some dreams. Maybe you have some visions. Maybe you have some goals. And yet this morning you feel like that those dreams are sitting on a shelf somewhere. Or maybe they're in the graveyard. Or maybe they're in a salvage yard and they've just been pushed aside, or you've pushed them aside, or you've dropped them off somewhere and said, you know what, I might as well forget about that dream. I might as well forget about the calling of God upon my life. I've went a different path. Well, on this Friday, I'm here to tell you that Jesus resurrects dreams, and that if God has called you, that calling of God is still upon your life. And the object is to get back to where you need to get in God. And if you will, you'll realize that the calling is still upon your life. Those dreams that you had, God can resurrect those dreams. Out of a graveyard, he can resurrect the dead. Jesus can. So don't give up, and don't say, you know what, there's no hope. That was something that I felt God had called me to do a long time ago, but now I just don't know. Listen, get back to God. Get back to God. seek His face again. Submit yourself, humble yourself, and I think you'll find that the calling of God is still upon your life. Those dreams, those goals that you felt strongly that God had impressed you with, if you'll get back to where you need to get and have faith again and have hope and trust again in Jesus, He can help resurrect those dreams that have been put up on the shelf, and He can resurrect those old bones that you thought there was no more life in them. Just a thought for you on this Friday. Jesus is a resurrection God. God bless you. Have a great Friday. Hope to see you in church on Sunday.